Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for choosing Across the Fence. I'm Will Michael, in today for Fran Stoddard. Every year, 2 young Vermonters are selected to serve as ambassadors of our state's signature product, maple. Well, last week we visited with the maple ambassador, Abigail Gagne of Highgate. Today we're meeting Abigail's counterpart. He's Dustin Beloin of Jay, Vermont. As ambassadors, Abigail and Dustin help promote and publicize maple, and they also educate the general public with their maple knowledge. Dustin is a senior at North Country Union High School, and he joins us this afternoon via Zoom from his family's home. He's going to explain the Maple Ambassadorship Program and the $2,500 scholarship that comes with the role. Dustin, thank you for being with us, and congratulations on your selection and service as a Vermont Maple Ambassador.
Thanks for having me on.
So you were selected as a Maple Ambassador at the 2021 Vermont Maple Festival in St. Albans, and you'll serve until the 2022 festival, which takes place next month. What did you need to do to be chosen as a Vermont Maple Ambassador?
I needed to write an essay about what I knew about maple, going into how I got into it, as well as what I've been doing with it. I needed to have a recommendation from a sugar maker in my county, and I needed to take part in an interview process.
So tell us about that middle piece, the sugaring family and your background. What's that about? Are you from a sugaring family?
Yes, I've been in a sugaring family since I could walk. I've been in the woods on snowshoes. We were 5th generation sugar makers, and I've been helping at our sugar bush and my grandfather's sugar bush.
Maybe share with folks a little bit about what are some of the things that a young person who's growing up in the maple industry, what are some of the initial responsibilities? What do you do?
At first, when you're growing up, you're in the woods following family, friends, whoever's here to help in the woods tap. And then as you get older, maybe you're handed a drill or you're handed a tool to help put lines together. And from there, you learn so much that I can't even say how much you learn about. Or you're in the sugar house boiling. Yeah, that's just kind of.
Dustin, you're also working with family. Your immediate family has an operation, but a next town over, you've told me that your grandfather still is a sugar maker. So again, Yep. This literally runs in the family.
Absolutely.
What are some of the changes in your family operation that you've seen in your experiences so far? You getting bigger?
Yeah, we always get bigger. That just seems like a never-ending roll in sugar bushes around here. Everybody always gets bigger and adds more taps. We've had a lot of different changes where we've added ROs or changed evaporators, bigger vacuum pumps.
One of the pieces of technology you just referred to, the RO, the reverse osmosis, because in your lifetime, there's been a lot of changes in technology.
Correct.
Well, let me take just a moment to note that this year's Vermont Maple Festival is once again taking place in St. Albans. It's scheduled for April 22nd through the 24th. You can check the website that our director, Adam Wright, has put on the screen, vtmaplefestival.org. And that website is also where you can get the application and all the necessary information to apply for the Vermont Maple Ambassadorship. Now, that program is open to Vermonters ages 16 to 21. You do not have to come from a sugaring family or background, but you must have an interest and a knowledge in maple. Dustin, as a Maple Ambassador, what are some of the things that you've done during the past year?
Normally, the Maple Ambassadors go to multiple fairs and other events like the Governor's Tree Tapping, that's coming up here soon, and the Maple Festival. Sometimes the ambassadors will go to the Big E, which unfortunately we didn't go this year. I was kind of disappointed about that. But I've also gone to the Champlain Valley Fair, the Barton Fair, and my local Maple Sugar Makers Association meetings, and pretty much just to represent Vermont maple as best we can.
As you've sort of just pointed out, and I gather it's, I assume it's the pandemic, that some of your interactions with the public have been a little bit limited. But when you are with the public, what kinds of questions do people ask a Maple Ambassador?
I've had people ask me questions from how I got into it, and I had to explain the process of becoming a maple ambassador to questions as far as the sciences behind maple and some of the technologies that have changed over the years.
So what are you going to remember out of this experience? What will you remember most about being a maple ambassador?
I think I'll remember the people that I met along the way, a lot of great people. And I'll also remember the great opportunity that the Vermont Maple Festival has given me.
Um, a week ago, I asked your counterpart, Abigail, as it relates to the festival and maple production
Mm-hmm.
and consuming, being the consumer. Do you have a favorite maple recipe that you either make or you say, gee, that is my favorite?
There's a recipe in our family that's been passed down for maple dumplings. I think that's one of my favorite things to eat out of everything.
And a lot of people will sometimes note or observe, you know, you're in the sugar house. How do you keep your fingers, how do you keep your hands off the product?
You just got to remember that everything is going to be eaten eventually, and you got to be really patient with it.
We're seeing some pictures that you've provided here. Maybe this is part of your family operation. Is that
That's
correct?
my mother and father, and that was the first syrup that we made this year.
Well, a toast to all of you. Now, are you involved in maple production or any kind of agricultural education through North Country Union High School? Is there any programs that the high school has?
Yep. So the North Country Career Center has a natural resources program, and in that program we have approximately 300 taps, and we make the syrup and we sell it through the program. And then North Country Career Center FFA will take some of the syrup and make products with it and sell that as fundraisers.
What are some of the other pieces that you do through FFA, the Future Farmers of America?
Some of the other pieces that we've done are agricultural education experiences where we go out from school and we go on trips to sugar makers, dairy farms, other agricultural businesses to promote leadership and agricultural education to students.
And I imagine that's also a heck of a way to learn, seeing what other families, what other operations are doing. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
So, what are your future plans in the maple industry? You as an individual, what do you want to accomplish? What do you see yourself doing in the next several years?
I hope to stay in Vermont after I graduate high school and go to college and keep helping out in the family farms.
You've indicated that you will apply, and again, this was before we got started. You told me that you do have plans for that scholarship and for your college career after you're graduating from North Country. Share a little bit about what you plan to do.
I plan on going to VTC for auto and diesel mechanics.
And you'll apply the scholarship that you've learned, that you've garnered through the Maple Ambassadorship Program to VTC.
Yep.
Now, what about the overall future of maple, Dustin? People talk about changing climate, the health of the forest. You shared that you want to be in Vermont, but what are your impressions, what are any concerns that you have about the future of maple in Vermont?
The only concerns I have are some of the changing weather. I think maple is here to stay, and that people in Vermont, sugar makers in Vermont, are just going to have to adapt with the weather changes. Sometimes we have good winters, sometimes we don't. A lot of maple is based off what happens throughout the rest of the year, not just during the spring.
In other words, it's a reminder that it is an agricultural operation and that weather is a factor.
Absolutely.
I mean, it seems like a silly question to ask, but we go through cycles. As we go through weather cycles and we have record years where there's incredible runs and great production, maybe other years that isn't quite so much. What's it like as someone working in agriculture dependent on Mother Nature?
You just have to take what you get, I guess. Some years you get really good crops, and other years you don't get very good crops. You just have to stay as efficient as you possibly can to maximize everything.
We're going to say goodbye here in just a moment, but a quick follow-up. What would you want to say to somebody, maybe their parents or grandparents are watching, or they heard about the Maple Ambassadorship Program? What would you want to tell somebody to encourage them to put their hat in the ring and go ahead and apply for this?
I would tell them that if they support the future of Vermont agriculture and sugar making, that it'd be a great way to promote it. And I think that they should definitely try for it.
Well, Dustin, before we run out of time, I want to share with our viewers, we're going to highlight the Maple Festival website one more time. You can get all the information you need, not only about the festival, but also about becoming a Maple Ambassador and the details of the $2,500 scholarship that comes with the ambassadorship. Check the website, vtmaplefestival.org, or you can call the number on the screen. It's 802-644-2935. Dustin, again, thank you very much for being with us this afternoon. Congratulations once again on your selection and service. And I suspect folks will see you at the Maple Festival in April. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I can't wait. Thanks for having me on.
Well, you're very welcome. And again, congratulations on your selection and service. That is our program for today. We know you have choices, so thanks for choosing us. I'm Will Michael, inviting you to join us back here each weekday afternoon for another visit Across the Fence.